No, it's insane. Like, Jim, of course there's 500 professional wrestlers. There's 440 right there. What are you talking about? I don't know. Sometimes I think like Jim forgets that wrestling exists like outside of America as well. But hey, maybe that's just me. All right, let's see what we got going.
Industry today, around the world, they found 500 that they believe need to be recognized as professionals over at Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and they have put out this list again this year.
Label out.
It is the annual. It is how many years have they been doing it? Does it say 34th annual PWI?
34 years of it?
Every year.
And back in
What was
1990,
1990?
Pressed to find 500 legitimate pro wrestlers, but if you included Japan and Mexico, you could do it, but I am astonished that they
if you could add Japan and Mexico, maybe you'd get it. Yeah, Jim, of course. There's a lot of people in Japan and Mexico who wrestle.
still claim that they are doing this.
Well, look at this. It's a picture of Cody Rhodes holding a PWI shirt. Is this current or is this from when he was in AEW? Does WWE allow this? Oh, no, copyright WWE. They did allow this. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Well, next thing you know, Bill Apter is going to be on Raw giving out the awards.
Bill Apter's not going to be on Raw. What are you talking about? People don't know Bill Apter like that anymore. They just don't, unfortunately.
Well, they can't have anybody but Bill do that on a big-time television.
Well, let's go to this list.
They can't have anybody but Bill. Anybody? I'm pretty sure they just get Pat McAfee to do it.
He was still doing the New Year's Rockin' Eve.
The primary...
And everybody was drunk about 10 minutes to goddamn midnight on New Year's.
Is this guy talking about...
Dick Clark.
He's talking about Dick Clark. I'm sorry, guys. Like, if you were watching Jim Cornette for, like... if you're watching Jim Cornette, non-ironically, and you're like, this guy is the genius voice of a generation... This guy is like talking about Dick Clark. I'm sorry. No one under the age of 35 knows, under the age of 30 knows who Dick Clark is. Way to keep up with the times. Let's see, chat saying Dean Malenko PWI. No, was he Dean Malenko PWI's number one in 1997? I'm going to fact check you on that one, Richie. I don't know about that. Was he really? That would be so funny. I bet Jim Cornette would have had a conniption fit about that. That's also like a Danielson pick. That's like a really, like, that's a Meltzery pick, you know. Oh my God, he was. He was. Get off there. Come here. Show the people. I don't want to see the ad. Yeah, 1997, Dean Malenko, Misawa, Steve Austin. Oh my God, Steve Austin at number 3 over, like, in Dean Malenko. That's insane. I know, I love Dean Malenko, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm sure the people were I'm sure the internet loved that. I'm sure the internet was like, this is a rational and sane take. Good job. That's hilarious. Slayer in the chat saying, is it just me? But I think Jim Cornette hates wrestling. Okay, so I worked with Jim, right? In the spit, I worked with Jim at OVW. He likes a specific type of wrestling, like wrestling after like 1989 was just not for him anymore, and he really wants that style back, and I understand that. We all have our preferences, but the amount of times that he like pushes it and refuses to push the art form going further, that's kind of my issue with him, right? So Jim will say, you know, we should do this stuff that's tried and true, and totally, I get that. Sometimes nostalgia is a nice warm blanket, and we want to have nostalgic little wrestling spots. We can be like, ooh, yay, I like this. This reminds me of when I was a kid. Great. But also, if we're not pushing the art form further and we're not doing anything different with it, then it gets stagnant. We're never going to get new fans. People are going to eventually get tired of that nostalgia, and you need to have something different that's going to grab the attention of new fans. When you think about it, like the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was completely different than the Say Your Prayers and Eat Your Vitamins crew, right? Right. So I think Jim has a particular idea of what pro wrestling should be, and he's not really willing to move off of it. Now, was it the Danielson Ospreay match? I think he had a podcast where he was like, I really enjoyed this. So Jim does have like the ability to enjoy modern wrestling. I guess Jim only enjoys modern wrestling when it's done by like the two best people in the planet to do it. So James, absolutely. Yeah, James, I think that's right. You got to push stuff. You can't just do that. Who else was in this 1997 one? The Giant was number 8. Oh wow, Oh, that's right. His first match in WCW, like he won the world title, like the very first match. So Pretty good. He who shall not be named. No, we can say it. Taz was on there. Taz in 97 on number 11. That's sick. Did Taz ever get hired? I don't know. Is this list going to take me to Taz? Oh, cool. Can I see his PWI status for every single year? I'm a big Taz mark. So, PWI ratings. Let's go. I do not need a floor jack. Okay. So, in 1991, which was the next year, 1991, I think was the first year or second year. Okay. So, the highest he ever got was 10th in 1999. Good for him. Taz cracked the top 10 PWI list. PWI list is goated.
It actually raised the suicide rate on New Year's Eve up 22%.
Oh, will you stop
Dick
it?
Clark.
Oh, you can't say that, Jim.
He was the world's oldest teenager, and then
Dude, he's still on this Dick Clark thing.
Vegetable.
He was the world's oldest teenager until Dave Meltzer took that title.
First Dave Meltzer mention of the day.
The PWI 500 is in-ring achievement, the win-loss records, the championships, the tournaments, influence, which is visibility and prestige within a promotion and or the industry, technical ability, the quality of moves, matches, and in-ring storytelling, competition, success against the most varied and high-quality opponents, and finally, activity, a minimum of 10 singles non-tag.
Okay.
10 singles matches total.
Sorry, just because Brian Last seems to be kind of stuttering through this a little bit. I'm a little confused on what he's saying. Also, I can't really understand him. But it says, in the digital age, we release our weekly ratings based on the same promotion. The criteria for the ratings include championships held, defended, a win-loss record, push, which just says push. Okay. Technical ability. Okay, so whatever. Oh, they got a ratings committee. I should probably show the chat this, right? I don't want to be stingy and not show the chat. Okay, so this is their ratings committee. Jason McVeigh, Christy Ashley, Harry Burkett, Paul Pratt, Striga, Cage Match, Puro Love. Who are these people? All right, we're going to do a deep dive in Jason McVeigh real quick. Let's go find out who this guy is. All right, look him up. What do we got? Jason McVeigh apparently is a senior associate athletic director. That can't be the same guy. But that's probably who we're going to keep getting, though. All right, let's see. Who do you got? What's Kevin McElvey? Low Country, Arkansas, a couple of races. What is this? I don't know who either of these people are. They didn't get Apple to put any information on them from the search, so they must have been nobodies. I'm just kidding. I don't know these people. All right, let's see what we got.
What are you saying? What's happening there?
To be considered, you need to have a minimum of 10 singles matches.
Yep, 10 singles matches, okay.
6 singles matches in separate months.
What?
You have to be
okay
active in 6 different months.
That would be like a...
10 matches.
The one thing I want to say is the PWI like perfectly encompasses the wrestling nerdom. Is like they're putting so many little rules and regulations on this. They're like, we have to have like 10 matches in a year or 6 matches through 6 months. What? Okay.
Jesus Christ. Well, what 10 singles matches, but so does that mean that Hawk and Animal at one point would not have been considered for this list because they didn't have singles, they only wrestled tags, or that means that you have to wrestle at least in half of the month, one time in half of the months of the year to be, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jim, I'm with you, buddy. All right, get through the rules. We get it. We get it, Jim.
Of
legitimate professional wrestlers here on this list. All right.
That is right. Well, let's get going. We have a long way to go. Let's get going.
And a short time to get there.
Jim, number 1 on the list.
No, we're not going to read all.
Dude, did you just do a Smokey and the Bandit reference? This guy is so old. So tired of it. Can we get a talking head who's listened to music from this millennia? I swear to God, it is the most annoying stuff to listen to him reference things that happened in a country 50 years ago. I understand that that's what you do when you get old, but can we please start taking thoughts and wrestling takes from people who have been around maybe since the internet's existed.
500 of these fucking things.
Not if you keep stalling. Number one on the list, Jim.
Not at all.
Come on, we got to get going. There's a big list here.
Yeah, Jim, hush up.
Prediction. If you had to pick who's the number one wrestler in the industry today, who would you pick?
Cody Rhodes. It's Cody Rhodes.
Press deadline was Cody Rhodes or Roman.
Okay, Jim, depending on your press deadline, once again, it's an old thing to say. It's also pro wrestling media. It's a magazine. They do it every single year. And why your press deadline for the year 2024? Quick question, bud. Who else would you think it would have been? Who else could it possibly have been besides Cody Rhodes? It is insane to me that you would be like, Heyman and Hahn. No, it's Cody Rhodes. End of story. Who's the biggest pro wrestling star on the biggest pro wrestling show? It's Cody Rhodes. What are we talking about?
Right.
Apollo, you're right. Chat, you're right.
Number one, Cody Rhodes.
He is good at dodging.
18 years pro. His path to number one. In 2007, he debuted at number 172 on the list.
172.
He was number 10. His previous highest amount was in 2020.
Cody Rhodes being 10th last year is kind of also a little wild. I know he was injured, but like I think he did enough to be in the top 5 easily.
He was number 6. Who do you think's number 2 on the list?
Who's number 2? Well, I think you have two schools of thought here, right? Do you go with the second most popular person in pro wrestling in the do you go for the second most popular person in the biggest pro wrestling company, or do you go for the first most popular person in the second biggest pro wrestling company? By that I mean, respectfully, Roman Reigns or Swerve Strickland. Seems like an easy question.
Roman Reigns?
Good answer.
Swerve Strickland.
Understandable answer.
15 years.
Oh, did he complain about it? Did you complain about Swerve Strickland, Jimmers? Jimmers, did you complain about Swerve? I'm sorry.
Roman Reigns?
Swerve Strickland.
Oh, God damn it.
Really? Really? You don't think that Swerve Strickland deserves it after the year he's had? Why is that, Jim? Why is that? I think he's a damn good wrestler. I think he's earned it. Did you not like the house burning down segment? Huh? I don't know. Slayer, Jim would put Ricky Morton at number 1. Yeah, he would, but he wouldn't be allowed to because Ricky Morton didn't wrestle singles matches that much.
Years pro. Wow, really? I had no idea. 15 years pro. Last year he was ranked 112.
I think Brian points out something that a lot of people don't realize about Swerve Strickland is he has been wrestling for a long time. Like, he just said 15 years pro. Let's see. Swerve Strickland. Let's pull him up. Let's take a look at Swerve. That photo's tight. That's cool. Here, let me get out of the way. Hey, buddy. Yeah, dude, he started out in CZW, I think, is where he learned to wrestle, too. Who trained him? Yo, he's got a blue relative here. We'll click on that in a second. Trained by DJ Hyde in Combat Zone Wrestling. Yeah, CZW. Debuted 2011, and he had some military service. He was in the reserves. Who's your cousin, Fred? Fred Strickland is an American professional footballer. Oh, okay, he's a linebacker. He played for the Rams, the Vikings, Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys, Washington Redskins. Played college football at Purdue Boilermakers. Did he 88? Dude, guy had a 10-year run in the NFL. That's pretty sweet. Second team Big Ten. Okay, all right. Dang, yeah, a lot of tackles. 712 tackles. All right, there you go. I don't know a ton about football, but that's Swerve's cousin.
Thoughts on him being number 2?
I mean, it's not even knocking him to say by what in the world, how can you be the number 2 star in the entire industry when you're not even the top guy in your own promotion that is
You don't think Jim doesn't think Swerve Strickland's one of the top guys in AEW. I mean, I guess you could have that talk if you wanted to be like Hangman, but those two stories are so intertwined together. It's something that I like about AEW is the hierarchy at the very top of the card is flat. By that I mean in WWE, right? There is top guys, and that's Cody Rhodes and that's Roman Reigns. And I wouldn't even say Gunther is on that level. I know he's the world heavyweight champion. Don't get me wrong. He's very good at what he does. I enjoy him a lot. Now, having said that, I mean in the way that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are just literally on a different level. If you were to look at, the tier list, right? Gunther, A tier, for sure. Don't get me wrong. But Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns are on like the S tier, totally different level. And I get that. In AEW, I don't feel like anybody is on S tier, which is fine. I think that everyone being on the A tier is good. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that means AEW doesn't have as big stars as WWE. And you can say that. I totally get that. But when you look at the nuance of it, for me, I think AEW just doesn't have the monster that AEW is just not the monster that WWE is. And by sense of monster, I mean like bad, scary things. I just mean like they have years, decades of time in this industry, WWE does, and they are the front runners. They're the foremost pro wrestling company on the planet. So of course they're going to have a little bit more a little more than AEW, and that's fine.
Outsized and overshadowed by the WWE to a ridiculous degree.
Who do you think's number 3?
They're outshadowed. That's fine.
Swerve's number 2. Who's number 3?
Well, no,
Roman.
I'm going to say MJF.
Why wouldn't you say Roman Reigns?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Years pro. Last year he was number 17 on the list.
Jim didn't like the Will Ospreay one. Surprise, surprise.
Did they kind of work because it's a work anyway, right? But they're board of editors or whatever, considering all these goddamn different facets of people's careers. It's a fucking work to try to sell magazines. So did they make the deal that, well, we've got to give the number 1 spot to a WWE guy because then
it's a work to sell magazines. Like, I get it. They're like a publication, but like, let's be honest, Jim. I don't know where you can go necessarily pick up a PWI. Like, if I can't go down to the local newsstand and pick one up, I live in Louisville. So do you, Jim. Jim, where are you buying your PWIs? Jim, drop the address. I know that you all and your crew watches everything about you, so somebody in the Jim Cornette community who's hate watching this, please have Jim text me. I don't think he has my number anymore, and that's fine. No, just Jim, in the next podcast, just let me know where you're picking up your PWIs in Louisville. We can just go on different days. That's fine.
It would really be ridiculous if we didn't, but we don't want to piss AEW off because their fans are probably even more the ones motivated by all the magazines. So we'll give them the number 2 and number 3 spot, even though nobody in AEW has the drawing power or is the goddamn in-ring or television performer that the tough.
Jim's take was, I love it. We don't want to upset the AEW fans because they're the ones who buy magazines. Well, what do we have to prove that, Jim? That they're a bunch of wrestling nerds? You're a wrestling nerd, Jim. You dislike AEW. Do you not read the magazines? You're talking about them. I don't know. It's insane.
6 or 8 guys in the WWE are right now.
Well, it says here his decision to sign with AEW has been second-guessed by some, but the criticism has only motivated Ospreay to prove his work ethic is second to none. A true artist in the ring.
Yeah, I don't really care if other people are saying he should have signed somewhere else. You sign where you think is going to be good for you.
Including bouts with Kazuchika Okada, Josh Alexander.
I think second Meltzer mention of the day.
And Michael Oku. That's number 3, Will Ospreay. Who do you think's number 4?
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, Jim.
Where would Roman Reigns be at this point?
I don't know. Is he even on the list? Has he wrestled in 6 different months or had 10 matches?
Well,
if that's the criteria, he may not be on the list.
Good Lord. So, one of the biggest stars of modern times who has set gate record after gate record might not be on this list because
Jim, you established at the beginning that people who did not wrestle a certain amount of matches would not be on the list. I don't think Roman Reigns had wrestled 10 singles matches this year, so I don't think he gets to be on the list. Why are we having an issue with this? You very clearly went over the rules, and you even showed your knowledge of how those rules work, because you stated, well, Animal and Hawk wouldn't get a title shot, or they wouldn't get a PWI ranking because they didn't have singles matches. Why are you trying to insert more rules to this? It's infuriating because you're a full-grown adult. He's a full-grown adult who understands these things, and now he's complaining about the rules because someone who makes more money isn't in the list. I don't know, man. I think capitalism has ruined a lot of people's brains. I think people are focused on the money aspect of an art form, which I think is a really boring thing to talk about, because if we're going to do that, why would I ever, what's your favorite movie? What's the best movie on the planet? Let me know right now what the best movie is ever. Wrong. It's like Gone with the Wind adjusted for inflation, or Avatar. Those are your two answers. If we're talking about financials, it's Avatar. We're talking about, I don't want to talk about blue people all the time. I want to watch other stuff and talk about how those things make me feel. I don't care that someone made some money. I just don't. Slayer says in England there are 2 wrestling magazines. Both are anti-AEW. I couldn't imagine being I can imagine being a wrestling dork. I am. Certified wrestling dork. That's fine. I couldn't imagine being a wrestling dork who cares so much about one particular company and just shunned another one. I'm sorry, but pro wrestling fans, we're too small of a group to go ahead and keep making ourselves in smaller and smaller subcategories. Yeah, other subcultures get to do that because they have more than a couple million fans. And I'm not saying there's only a couple million wrestling fans. I'm talking about the hardcore wrestling dorks out there who love pro wrestling. Hard, the ones who you interact with on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. There's a couple million of us. And we're just we should just keep fighting little in wars with each other. I'm sorry, but the rest of the population doesn't care what 3-letter professional wrestling company you watch. They think we're all dorks. So why are we fighting between ourselves? Maybe we are dorks.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, then Brock Lesnar wouldn't be around at all, would he?
Jim, of course Brock Lesnar's not going to be on the PWI list this year. I don't think he's wrestled a match because some information broke out in January, and that might be the reason.
Let's go.
Guys drive me crazy.
Number 4, Seth Rollins.
There you go.
Last year he was number 1, 16 years pro. He's a visionary.
Every bit of it.
Number 5. Any predictions for number 5?
Gunther.
No issues. He has no issues with the WWE guys, huh? Seems weird.
Number 5, Tetsuya Naito.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There you go. There you go. Anybody who's not WWE, Jim just hates. I know, Jim, you don't watch any other wrestling. Or maybe you might, right? You might, right? You might. You just maybe don't enjoy any other wrestling. And that's fine. I understand. You came up in that organization. You spent a lot of time. That's where you spent a lot of years making professional wrestling television. But if we're going to always keep doing the same thing, we're never going to get anywhere different. When you just look at one company, you say, this is it, this is wrestling. No, man, wrestling needs to be so many different things, Jim. It's just, I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing for him anymore, or if it's just, I don't know if it's nostalgia or if he's just militant about what he wants, what he believes pro wrestling is. And I understand there's going to be people who believe cinema has to be something specific, right? You can't do cinema in other ways. It has to be done one way. Okay, fine, whatever. But I'm always of the idea there was I don't want to be the old guy eventually screaming and saying back in the day, no, man. Art is always going to change. You change with it or you just get left in the past. Let's see. Gallifrey J in the chat saying, I'm a fan of all other wrestling. This is a place for me. Welcome. You found your people. We're so happy to have you. So happy to have you. Let's see. Oh, I want to also give a shout out to our top viewers right here. And I want to say, Slayer and Wrestle Rants, thank you so much for being our top viewers of this stream so far. So thank you very much. Let's get back into Jim. Oh my God, I'm only 8 minutes into it.
Last year, who do you think's number 6?
Well, Orton just came back recently from a back injury. Again, I don't know when their printing deadline was.
Printing deadline.
Is Randy Orton going to be in here? Is LA Knight going to be in here? Is Logan Paul going to be in here? Is who of the top people that I'm forgetting about in the WWE? They've got so many. Is Rhea Ripley, or is this only guys?
I believe this is only
Jim.
Okay, then in that case.
Dude, Jim's like, well, who else in the WWE can I name? Jim, there's so much other wrestling on this planet. Please, for the love of God, think that somebody else. And I know when Brian Last is going to inevitably say a name of somebody who doesn't work in WWE, Jim is going to freak out. Get ready to clip it.
And here's the cutoff line where Rhea Ripley could kick the shit out of all the rest of the guys on the list.
It's a men's list.
Let's say, now you've thrown me off. I'm still pulling for Gunther.
At number 6, from the Bronx, Damian Priest.
No good. He said WWE guy.
Last year he was number 71.
Jim,
that was when they were pushing him with the world title belt. But
do you have an issue with that?
All those people that I just mentioned are bigger stars than Damian Priest is.
Who do you think's number 7?
WWE.
Number 7.
Nah. Gunther's good.
Okay, now they finally remembered to go back the other side of the street.
9 years pro. Last year he was number 6. Okay.
This guy, dude.
Number 8. Any prediction for number 8?
Gunther.
Jon Moxley.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There you go, Jim. Be mad about Jon Moxley, you nerd. Let's chat. Gallifrey J. saying her AEW is getting the HBO Max deal done by January. So excited to announce it this week. I hope that that's the case. I saw that a story come through today that AEW is going to be streaming on Max. I don't know. Maybe you can smarten me up on this. Was it going to be is it included, or is it like you still got to pay $50 or like maybe 10 or whatever? Hopefully it's included. That would save me $50 extra a month. Not to say that I don't mind paying for the pay-per-views because they're very good, but if I could spend $50 a month on other things, that's what I'd like to do. Let's see. Slayer in the chat saying they're women on the list. Marsha Slamovich is in the top 50. Good for her. We'll look at that later, maybe.
Every single bit of it shows on his fucking face and his stoop-shouldered, awkward, disconnected bucket of body parts physique.
Dude, Jim Cornette is saying Jon Moxley has a bad body. What? I don't know, Jim. I was standing next to Moxley at the most recent at the most recent AEW taping. Where's him in that white damn shirt? Where's he at? I'm sorry, Jim. You are crazy. I'm sorry. Let's see. Where's the John? I gotta find a good Jon Moxley. Everybody just wants to show me toys. Like, I don't want to see toys. I want to see the real Jon Moxley. Where's he at, dude? Where's his somebody? Twitter, right? Twitter will have a good picture of him. Let's see. Let's just look up Jon Moxley. Let's see what's going on with Jon Moxley's world. I know he's not on here. Somebody post a picture of Jon Moxley, right? Media. Let's see. Let's look for Jon Moxley's bad body. That's from September. Does no one post Jon Moxley? I don't know, dude. He looks pretty good there. Also, Marina Shafir is straight up scary. When she was at, they broke up the private party match on 2 weeks ago's Dynamite, and she just choked him out the entire time. I was like, you should let go of that. You're holding. That's way too long. Let go. Nope. Yeah, man. I don't think Moxley has a bad body. Disconjointed. Okay, Jim. All right, Jim. You go put on a white t-shirt. Let's see you, babe. What a goober.
Number 9.
Gunther.
Number 9, Gunther. Last year he was number 4. He's 18 years pro.
That's amazing, but at least, you know, if he had come to the United States before the last few years when the administration came in and would appreciate him, we probably wouldn't be talking about him now because they'd have ruined him and he'd have gone home in misery.
No, nice job, Jim. Got him. Oh, Christ, this guy. It's, Jim, okay, me and Jim agree on, like, the political spectrum, but how we arrived to those answers seem drastically different.
So I'm glad that he stayed hid over there from the mainstream.
Yeah, I'm with you, chat. He does look all right. He has slimmed down. Him stopping drinking helped him a lot. A lot.
10. Who do you think's number 10 on the list?
Now you've baffled me. I got nobody else. Gunther.
You said Gunther.
Number 10, Mystico. 26 years pro. Last year he was number 46.
Jim goes, Mystico. Jim, there's wrestling in other countries. Has Jim ever appeared on like an international wrestling show? Somebody in the chat let me know. There's got to be a video where like Jim has shown up at an international event. He's got to understand the fact that wrestling exists in other places. I'm sure he understands the concept of luchadors are not an American ideal. Jim, where do you think the luchadors came from? Guy, man.
Now we'll go through some of the other ones. Number 11, Samoa Joe. 12, Sami Zayn. 13, Drew McIntyre. 14, Brian.
We forgot about Drew McIntyre. My God, how's he not top 5?
14, Brian.
Because, Jim, his feud has been over a friendship bracelet and has never evolved past I don't like you. That's why, Jim, because it's not a very good story. I'm sorry for all my Drew McIntyre CM Punk fans in the chat. That story has gone nowhere. It started out as, I don't like you. Well, I'm going to do something bad to you. And then you're going to do something bad to me. And then vice versa until we both wrestle each other. I'm sorry. And I know CM Punk was hurt. And I think Drew McIntyre was also hurt. And both of them couldn't wrestle. But, like, I'm sorry. Just use that time for something else. And a lot of people are very excited about this Hell in a Cell match. And I totally get that. And I think that that will be cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about that. But this feud has been so slow for me. I don't care about the little backstage interactions they're having with one another or like getting involved in each other's matches. I think there's better ways to tell that story, personally. And I understand why Jim likes it because it's overt, it's out front. There's no questions about what's going on, and that's always the type of wrestling that Jim has put out.
Danielson, 15, Moose, 16, Sonata.
Who?
From New Japan. Affiliation.
He said, oh.
Just 5 guys.
Make the joke, Jim.
Oh, he's doing burgers?
No, not 5 Guys Burgers.
There you go.
Just 5 Guys. It's kind of like Ray's Pizza versus Famous Ray's.
Dude, I'm sorry, but like, this is like listening to like my uncle talk about things. And he's like, oh, 5 Guys? You mean 5 Guys Burger? That's not a good joke. It's not. It's so corny. Like, I understand. People are like, Jim Cornette's, he's corny. He's corny. Dude, yeah, dude, he is corny. This is ridiculous.
He's famous. You know?
So what do they do? A bun with no burger or a burger with no bun?
He's still going about the burger jokes. Bro, put the fries in the bag. Fries in the bag, Jim.
Well, it doesn't say here, but number 17 is Jey Uso. What do you think of that?
Ooh. You know what? It's a shame we talked about all the stars that are over. He's over like crazy. Goddamn, his work. It's like it regressed when he became the hot dogging baby.
Ooh, I agree with Jim on this one. Damn.
Am I overstating this?
Okay, so here's the thing. I want to point something out. Jim was very incredulous about everybody else on this list and their positioning if they were not in WWE. This one he has a legitimate gripe about, saying his in-ring work is not good, and he is tiptoeing towards it. Why, Jim? Why are you tiptoeing towards this one on the Usos? Why don't you just say, no, dude, that shouldn't be there, or go, why doesn't he work at Target? Because cultural reference from 1976 here. Like, Jim, you can say, no, dude, that's bad. I don't like that. You clearly have the capabilities of it. So what are we doing?
He's not a favorite of mine in the ring. Number 18, El Hijo del Vikingo.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Jim, I think there's something going on here. I think Jim has a clear and present bias. Buddy, your reaction to, I don't think, oh, wow, do you think this? You think he's main event Jey Uso's like, I think he's that good? I don't know. Co-host, I'm going to immediately move on to the next one because obviously this is not a very good conversation here. Next one is a luchador from Mexico. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't believe he would do that. Like, this is not how I want to spend my Sunday.
Viking number 18 in the world of professional wrestling. And we have not got CM Punk in there yet.
Well, it says he's been out of action since the spring.
Jim clearly doesn't understand the rules. At the same time, he understands the rules. I don't know what he is doing. Why is CM Punk not on this? Because Jimmy hasn't wrestled 10 matches. Why is Roman Reigns on this list? Because he hasn't wrestled 10 matches. I swear to God, it's like talking to your uncle who doesn't listen at all to the conversation and is just waiting to input their thing. Guy's killing me. What's chat saying? Bearded Investigator says, hey, man, I followed you for quite some time, and I'm here to say I'm becoming a huge fan of yours. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Says someone shines a light on AEW. And I just want to talk about that real quick. A lot of people say, oh, well, you're AEW paid chill. First of all, if I was paid chill, I would probably request a nicer studio. That's fine. Second of all, I just talk about things that I care about in professional wrestling. My thoughts and how I view professional wrestling and how professional wrestling should be done varies from Jim Cornette, right? A lot of people who talk about pro wrestling on the internet have the same views as Jim Cornette, or, we'll call him WWE loyalist, which is fine. But me, I have a feeling about pro wrestling, and I extend that to all pro wrestling. And I understand the nuance of some companies are run in different ways. WWE, I find that some of the storylines are not for me, but I do understand that they do have to bring in a younger audience. They bring in families and stuff like that too, which is great. That is what you want in pro wrestling. You need somebody who is going to make young fans come to pro wrestling, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I also understand that there needs to be things like AEW, CZW, GCW, things of that nature. And I'm not just talking like hardcore promotions. Obviously, I'm talking AEW as an alternative. I just mean alternatives in general, right? Because as you've watched pro wrestling, or like, let's take it to another thing. Let's say rock and roll music. When I was a kid, I used to listen to music whatever my dad had on in the car, and sometimes he had the classic rock radio station on. You listen to the Eagles, or you listen to the Beatles, things like that, right? And as you get older, you start, if you're into that kind of music or rap music or any type of music, you go and you find out other things. As I got into my teens and my 20s, I found like the indie rock and the progressive rock space, and I enjoyed those. And then like a little bit in the metal, stuff of that nature, pop punk. You expand your horizons. If every single band was the Eagles, we would never progress any further. And that's what my problem is with these tribalist wrestling fans. A lot of these tribalist wrestling fans just want the Eagles, and that's it. You only get the Eagles for forever, and that's it. And no, dude, I want some stuff. I understand. There's going to be stuff that the pro wrestling space puts out that's not for me. I'm sorry. Like, I've gone and done. I used to direct Ohio Valley Wrestling. So I've seen, like, I'll say traditional wrestling. In the same time, I used to do photos for IWA Mid-South across the bridge. And they are a hardcore extreme promotion. I'm not going to say the word, obviously. We don't want to get hit by the guidelines. But I'm sorry, but when you take those light tubes and you're smashing them over people's head in a parking lot, yeah, I get that. That's not for me. Like, I've done the photos. They're insanely interesting to go see. I would show some, but I'm pretty sure we'd get flagged. But it's not for me. But I'm not going to sit here and say, you shouldn't have the thing that speaks to you. I'm sorry, but like, I'm going to make it political because Jim likes to make it political. That is a completely like Republican mindset. There are two consenting adults who want to do something. We do not need a third person to come in and say, I don't think you should be able to do that. No, mind your own damn business and let people do what they want to do. Now, Jim doesn't think that. Jim thinks wrestling should be one way and one way only. He can't fathom that he is not the target demographic for something on this earth, and it is surprising. Sorry, that was a rant. Whew. All right. Let's look at the chat. Chat's going crazy. Chat's going crazy on this rant. Let's see. What do we got? The E is Roman in the chat says E. The E is for everyone. That's true. I'm with you there. James does not like, woke rock, progressive rock. Yeah, you know me. I'm the DEI rock, baby. We're only in living color, right? Let's see. It's best for business. Roman, I respectfully agree. If you want one company, you ain't a wrestling fan. Yeah, I don't think Roman wants he doesn't want one company. Yeah, Roman. How you gatekeeping wrestling? No. Let's see. Yeah, man. James in chat saying, I don't like when people jump off roofs in the light tubes. That's a no. Yeah, I get that, but somebody's got to do it. Somebody that's doing it for somebody, right? Somebody out there is like, this is my jam. I want to see this. And I think you should be served too, right? I think you should be served in what you want. Let's see what else we got going on here.
But he continued his unreal crash and burn performances for half of the evaluation period. He defended the Mega Championship in the U.S., Mexico, and Australia via Ring of Honor, AAA, and Game Changer Wrestling.
Cool.
Did you realize I just said we ain't got Punk in there yet? And they're almost at 20, and they're talking about Vikingo?
Vikingo, you know how to speak, Jim. You know how to hear words and then repeat those words. You are not dumb. You've been a public speaker in the space for like 40 years, dude. What are you talking about? First of all, you're an asshole for that. Like, you know that. You know what you're doing. Second of all, I don't know what you don't understand still, Jim. CM Punk's not going to be on the list. He didn't have 10 matches this year. CM Punk has been hurt. Do we need to go over the rules again, Jim?
Eddie Kingston.
Oh, Christ on a cracker.
21, Kazuchika Okada. 22, Nick Nemeth. What do you think of that? One of your former students.
He can outwork half of the guys on or more on the top 20 that you've just read off, but at the same time, again, where is he currently making a massive difference in something as related to the people that we're talking about that they haven't put on this list yet?
Oh my God, he's just like stumbling around it. Just say, yeah, man, it's good. He deserves it. He's done a lot of good work in TNA. He's brought his career back, that being Nick Nemeth. I'm excited to see him work, go out there and wrestle to the best of his abilities, even at his, advanced time in the pro wrestling space. So just do that. Yeah. Jim, that's what I'm saying. Capitalism has people's brains broken. He's just focusing on who's making the most amount of money. Jim, you're not making that money. You are not making that money. You used to be a promoter. I understand that. And that's maybe you got promoter brain. And unfortunately, a lot of fans in professional wrestling have promoter brain as well. You now, welcome to the show, Jim, are now a fan. You are now a commentator about the world of professional wrestling. Are you the business commentator about the world of professional wrestling? No, because you give your feelings and thoughts on everything. You're not talking about the money for other people. You are saying that, oh, this person doesn't work well. I don't like this person. This person has a weird body. Okay, Jim, pick a lane. What's more important, the financial return? And it's fine if it is. If you are a numbers geek and this is Dewey Decimal Point time with the numbers nerd Jim Cornette, okay, rock and roll, son. But if you're a wrestling commentator, you're very much not talking about the wrestling portion of it. And that's what is insane to me, that there's so many people who listen to this thing. This thing. Jim has 435,000 subscribers, and this thing has 70,000 views. I haven't heard anything that, like, I would say is of note. All it is bash everybody who's not WWE, and when it comes time to bashing WWE, you turn into a little sheep. I'm sorry, you're like, well, I don't know, maybe I'm taking this too far. Maybe I'm incorrect. Why do you second guess yourself, Jim? You seem so sure. Well,
let's go back to this list. Number 23, Alex Shelley. Number 24, Orange Cassidy.
Jesus.
Here it comes.
Number 25, Alex.
Slayer in the chat says, I guarantee he calls Orange Cassidy Pockets or the AEW mascot. Luckily, they moved right along with it. Jim didn't get to do his bit. I'm sorry, Jim. You got to get your stuff in quicker, son.
What?
He is the suplex assassin. He entered the evaluation.
Oh, you're talking about Alex Kane?
The champion. I've never even heard of him.
Okay.
Number 25, Alex Kane.
What?
He is the suplex assassin. He entered the evaluation period as the MLW World Heavyweight Champion. I've never even heard of him. Huh. Well, we'll find out more about him in the future when he goes to another company.
Jesus, guys. I'm sorry. And I understand there is a lot of pro wrestling in this world, right? You don't have time to watch it all. But if there was somebody who's on the PWI, I'd say top 20, top 25, top 30, that you don't know, go look them up. Obviously, they are a good professional wrestler. They're not just putting people on here for the sake of putting people on here. Alex Kane is one of those people. Alex Kane is a very good wrestler. Now, having said that, I do not watch a lot of MLW. I, however, though, am on the internet and have access to look at things. I've watched some of his matches. I've seen some of the clips that he posts online. The man is very good, very proficient. Also a really good follow on TikTok. If you're not following him, make sure you do that. Also follow me here. But having said that, Jim, if you are in the wrestling space and you don't know somebody like this, look him up. And Brian, his co-host here, we'll find out more about him when he comes to a different company. How are you going to talk about him accurately if you're not doing your work now? If you're only going to care about somebody when they're on one of the main shows, what are we doing? Like, I don't get this. Like, I don't understand this line of logic. No one is making you do this, Jim. If this is not something you're doing for the love of the game, I'm here streaming, watching your stuff on a Sunday morning, and NFL just kicked off. And I'm still here watching your stuff because it's infuriating. And I understand that people say, why are you doing something you don't want to do? I think it's important to have these conversations. I think it's important to be able to talk about these things and mention that some of the people in our space of pro wrestling media, social media, content creation, whatever you want to call it, are just doing so in bad faith. I think Jim Cornette's one of them. I think a lot of live streamers are. I mean, I'm going to shoot on the live streamers. Here we go. I'm sorry, but I've listened to this whole thing, and I've never just gone... like the whole time, on everything, on entrances. I'm sorry. That's not how people react. And I try to have this more conversational approach to this chat and this live stream. But the people who are... we'll say that there's a lot of prevalent names in the pro wrestling social media space who are just very disingenuous, and I'm really sick of it because we're acting like, for lack of a better word, we're acting like content creators at all times. Like, don't do that. Like, be a human being. Don't forget you're a human being in the year 2024. Don't be weird either. You know, there's a lot of weirdos out there. Let's fix that camera. Boop, boop, boop. All right, let's get through this. God, 13 minutes.
6, Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland. Cool.
LA Knight. I'll stop there for a moment.
27 LA Knight.
Again, LA Knight. They're chanting on network television. LA Knight. Yeah. But he's below Viking O, and who O is that O?
Like I said, it's like watching professional wrestling with your uncle, the MAGA uncle.
And he's right next to number 28, Trick Williams. 29, Christian Cage. 30, Ilya Dragunov. You know, this really points out why they should do a PWI.
Yeah, chat, nasty man, a young nasty man. You're right. Casual racism from Jim.
Brock, Punk. If Punk didn't qualify for the list, put Punk on there too.
Punk didn't qualify, Brian. We've established that.
Number 32, Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Oh, you're just making that up.
Number 33.
Jim, if his name was Stan Smith, would you say he was making it up? Would you? I mean it. I understand, dude. I don't know some of these cats either, and that's fine. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and say you're just making stuff up because he has an, I don't know, East Asian sounding name. If that's the wrong term for it, somebody let me in the chat know because, like, it's insane. I don't watch a lot of I think he is New Japan. I think they're about to say that. I feel like I've heard the name. I don't know any of the matches. I should watch more New Japan. I'll be honest.
Zack Sabre Jr. Number 34, Mike Speedball Bailey. Number 35, Keno. Or Keno. I don't know. It could be Keno. Keno.
How many N's is there?
There's one N.
Is there a Drava over the E?
No, just Kenoh.
Oh, there's an H. Then I think it's got to be Keno.
Number 36, Mascara Dorada 2.0. Number 37,
Okay.
Logan Paul. Number 38, Michael Oak.
The fact he has nothing to say about Logan Paul is an absolute indictment. You're not beating the charges. You need to go to jail. I'm sorry. If you don't have anything to say about Logan Paul and you had things to say about Will Ospreay. He's an unserious person. This Jim Cornette.
Who? Number 39.
Oh, who? Oh, who?
Number 39.
You've never heard of Michael Oku? Oh, who? This guy? Yeah, like, it's not entertaining. I'm just convinced now that, like, the people who listen to this and, like, listen to it every single week are just in it for, like, the bad jokes and, like, the chatter said, casual racism. Like, and people say, oh, it's not really racist. Yeah, dude, you're making fun of people's names like that. Like, but you're not doing it for other people. You're like, anything that sounds different to my anglicized ear, I'm going to make fun of. Which I understand. I live in Louisville. These guys are everywhere.
Krule, by the way, not even.
He is personable. Yeah, James is saying in the chat, Jim is very personable in a weird way. He's a talented entertainer. No, he definitely is.
You never hear of him anymore.
He's the NWA World Champion, according to this.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jim. Hold on. Jim, I'm going to let Jim say that while I go back and find some of them.
Number 40 on the list.
Where's he been lately?
39, Krule. Krule, by the way, not even Cruel. Number 40, EC3. EC3, number 40 on the list.
Where's he been lately? You never hear of him anymore.
He's the NWA World Champion, according to this.
Okay.
Where's EC3 been at? Jim. EC3 has been near your own damn house in the past couple of months. He has been wrestling at OVW. Jim, you know OVW, right, Jim? Remember this logo? You used to work there, Jim. We used to work there together. How are you a wrestling pundit when you're like, where's this guy been at? Oh, I don't know. 15 minutes from your own damn house. I'm sorry. It is listening to pro wrestling talk with your drunk uncle. It 100% is. The dude is just not here. He's just not mentally here. I mean, let's see. EC3 OVW. He's been in OVW. Oh, here's his whole OVW wrestling page. Here we go. Oh, Jim. He's on the roster page. He's on the roster, Jim. That's where he's been. He's been at the place that you used to work. Oh my God. Oh, James in the chat saying I don't like EC3 at all, but in kayfabe he should be higher. Yeah, I mean, if this list was on kayfabe, then yeah, Roman Reigns. Well, also he wouldn't have qualified, but yeah, I guess so. But the NWA, is the NWA bigger than like Lucha Libre companies? I don't think so. That's just me.
Keep it up. I'm sorry.
What do you do if you want to disappear? You win the NWA World Title. That's what you do. Number 41, Yuma Anzai. Number 42, Adam Page. 43, Josh Alexander.
Adam Page being 42 is kind of crazy. Yeah, he's had a decent year this year. Adam Page as 42 is kind of high for me, but whatever. I didn't make the list.
44, Satoshi Kojima.
Yeah, James in the chat says, also, Jim knows that he's in the NWA. He's lying. Yeah, he has to know that he's in the NWA. Jim, we were just in a movie. I was doing some extra work. Jim was actually in the cast of this movie they were filming out about June Byers, the Queen of the Ring. Camille was in it, too. She was very good. Anyways, Jim, you played the NWA commissioner, buddy. That's like the role you've always wanted to play. You mean to tell me you don't know what's going on in the NWA right now? I don't think Jim watches other wrestling. I think that's kind of... I know he like says he watches the AEW pay-per-views, but, you know.
45, Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Christ. But behind... all right.
Yeah, this list is getting... I'm trying to see. It's just falling off. Number 55, Randy Orton.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Number 52, Braun Breaker.
Randy Orton, number 55. 52, Braun Breaker. And behind these names that you've been rattling off.
Well, let me go back to the list.
Yeah, dude, they've been hurt.
52, Braun Breaker. 53, Obafemi. If you haven't seen him yet, you probably do need to in NXT. He is impressive.
I thought it was one of the girls from the name.
No, he's a...
Jim, we've established that this is a males-only list, my friend. I thought Obafemi was a girl's name because it says Femi in it. Jim, I don't know what I don't know, bud. I don't know if you understand this, but most of the world does not speak English like that. Different words and different sounds in other nations mean other things. But you hear Femi, and you're like, lady. It's got to be a lady. It's got fem in it. What are you talking about? What's wrong with this guy?
He's a rookie wrestler in NXT. You have to see him. He's got a look. He's got size. He can move. And
Logan Paul had good matches, but it's because they practice everything so much. Kenny Omega's right. He couldn't do that if he had to go to a
what is it?
G1.
Oh, CW.
No, Dumont. But Obafemi.
Number 54, Max.
Drives a Hemi.
Number 50. No, Vince does.
Obafemi drives a Hemi. Is this your god? Is this your king? Is this your wrestling pundit king? This dude is corny.
Number 54, Max the Impaler. Number 55, Randy Orton. Number 56, AJ Styles.
Dude, okay. So Jim doesn't watch wrestling. I've come to the conclusion, right? I've come to the conclusion. So Max the Impaler, right? They did not pick up on that because the name, right? Jim is let's just say did not pick up on that. For those who don't know, Max the Impaler, I believe the term's non-binary. Somebody in the comments let me know. They go by they, them pronouns. Jim, I'm sure, would have had a fucking conniption fit, but they didn't, or Jim didn't, right? Which it just kind of leads to my credence that Jim is only like concerned. Does the name sound weird? Funny name, funny. I will make fun of funny name. But Jim just doesn't care. I don't think he watches wrestling. Which he shouldn't care. Like, honestly, I don't feel like he knows that. I don't feel like this is Jim being an ally or being like woke, as some people would say. I just think he doesn't know. I just think he doesn't know at all.
57, Claudio Castagnoli. 58, Kevin Owens. 59, Jack Perry. 60, El Desperado.
He didn't say anything about Jack Perry. That's fun.
61, Atlantis Jr.
All right, how far are you going?
62, Rocky Romero. 63, Ricochet. You can get millions of dollars even if you're 63. 64, Blake Christian.
You can get millions of dollars even if you're 63. Brian, do you have a problem with wrestlers getting paid? Stop it.
67, Konosuke Takeshita. 68, Finn Balor. 69, Dominic Mysterio. 70, Chris Sabin. And now it's about to really fall off here because now, yeah. All right, we could stop soon.
Right,
I mean,
who's number 500?
hold on, I'm going through this.
Ooh,
Let's see if there's any.
good question, Jim. One of your first good points of the day.
There's all sorts of pictures and names. I don't know who any of these people are. Number 491, Lucas DeSangro, nicknamed Twitch. Number 492, Isaiah Wolf, trained by Johnny Rods. Number
Johnny Rods mentioned. Hell yeah.
Rohan Raja. His signature move is a modified jumping flatliner. 494,
Cool.
Chris Stara out of Montreal. 495,
Chris Stara?
Chris Stara, one word. Like share, Chris Stara. Like Christoph, Chris Stara.
All right, where are we at?
495, TJ Sykes.
KJ.
Prince. 496, Smiley. His secret weapon is the
That's where it's up.
Smiley?
That's right.
Is there a photo of Smiley?
There is no photo, but he has held multiple titles in
Smiley.
pro wrestling.
There's no photo of Smiley. Here you go. I'm a better producer than Brian Last. There's a picture of Smiley. There you go. What's he do? Smiley, he looks like a masked guy. He's got a House of Glory world. He's at 8 pay-per-view matches. All right, cool. There you go.
I live in New Jersey and I don't know anything about pro wrestling magic. Number 497, Anakin Murphy.
Yeah.
98, Santana Jackson.
Oh, Anakin Murphy. Oh, hold on, chat. Anakin Murphy, dude. He's a Jedi. Dude's a Jedi. Oh, it's so sick. Anakin Murphy. All right, what do we know about Anakin Murphy, chat? Anybody know anything about Anakin Murphy? Let's see. Oh, well, he's this type of wrestler. He likes the matches that are compromised to the permanent end matches, it seems. ICW, Glory Pro. It's fun. Oh, IWA Mid-South back in 2021. Junior heavyweight title change. Okay, cool. So he's wrestled near here. Interesting.
Is that the Michael Jackson impersonator?
I bet you it is.
99, Travis Lee. His home promotion is the ECWA. And finally, number 500.
Let's see.
Memes. AKA Blue Pain, AKA Blue Cane.
Dude, that's
a person dressed like Kane, but blue.
Blue Cane.
No. What?
That's Blue Cane. He's number 500.
You don't know about Blue Cane, Jim? Oh, come on, dude. This guy doesn't watch wrestling. This guy's not even a wrestling nerd. I'm sorry, Jim. You're not a wrestling nerd. Get out of space.
What is his size? What are his dimensions?
Yeah, I agree, Jim. James says, I feel like Cornette tearing down people is not a good contribution to the industry that he loves. I agree.
Charles Crowley in a Buried Alive match and became the obsession and briefly the arch nemesis of Matt Cardona.
Blue Cane and Cardona.
Pinnacle of indie wrestling, I guess.
Dude, Charles Crowley in a Buried Alive match? That's cool.
Dressed up as a Blue Cane, or is he really 7 feet tall and 300 pounds or whatever the fuck?
See, now I'm confused.
Oh my god. How big is he? Is he as the size of Kane? Is he the size of Kane? What a nerd.
52, Tony Deppen.
What a geek.
Deppen, I think.
I don't know how tall he is. Who cares? He's a meme wrestler, Jim. He's the number 500 on the countdown. He's a meme, Jim.
455, Eli Everfly.
What are we talking? 450.
He was 456, Maki Ito.
450.
Secret weapon, obscene finger gestures. Why?
Maki Ito made the men's? Okay. Whatever.
And what is that?
Is Maki Ito...
When she's 50 points ahead.
What is...
There's another one. Sawyer Wreck. Who's this? Ring style hardcore.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Maybe, I mean, gender's a construct, Jim. Maybe that's the way.
Defeated Milo for the Hood Slam Best Athlete in the East Bay title.
I'm sorry, Jim. If you don't understand memes at this point, dude, you just take a step out. Find you a nice farm to go to, my friend.
And beat Billy Dixon in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Let's Billy Dick. Hey, there's Billy Dixon.
Goddamn knockdown drag out she had with Arnold Finster. And Tits McGee was the referee.
Well, here's an interesting one.
Oh, there you go, Jim. There you go. Casual sexism. You're doing it again. God, this guy is so tired, chat. I'm so annoyed with him. Oh, Tits McGee. Dude, just shut up. Shut up. Get this microphone away from this guy. I'm sorry. Like, the fact that 70,000 of you all, not maybe in this chat, but 70,000 of you all went and watched this, and hopefully not to completion, but this is just, oh my, this is so stupid. So dumb.
He had a big crowd on the street corner.
So dumb.
6 is Microman. Build height 3'3". Popular young wrestler is great at beating opponents who underestimate him. Biggest win this year, arguably, was Joey Janela's clusterfuck battle royal during WrestleMania weekend. He defeated Danhausen, Brandon Kirk, and Dark Sheik, amongst others, and challenged Joey Janela for the Extreme title.
There you go. Where's EC3? You never hear him. He's the WWE World Champion, Jim. The hell are you talking about?
In here,
Dwarves are actually the real term. Rather, all the
Glaze.
who were advertised in wrestling as midget wrestlers were actually dwarves.
Ricky Morton.
Yeah, Jim, you can't say that word either. Good God, buddy.
But he's neither a midget nor a dwarf.
I don't know why this just hit me looking through this. I guess because I saw
James in the chat says we should play Cornette Bingo. You know what? That's gonna be funny. We're gonna make a Cornette Bingo card real quick. Build your own bingo card. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. All right, there's got to be like a space where I can do it, like, you know, a website for teachers or whatever. Enter your own words. Oh, sick. Okay, cool. All right, Jim Cornette Bingo. Is it Cornett? The E? Yes, E at the end. All right. Let's see. Enter the number. Enter numbers or words. Okay, so we're gonna go. Let's see. We're gonna go pockets. Pockets is on there. All right, chat. What is going to be on our Jim Cornette Bingo card? We're gonna do this, and we're gonna listen to the rest of this and see if we can fill out a bingo. We got pockets. That's we have makes fun of name. Sexism. We'll put casual. Casual sexism. Casual racism. Let's see. Trump, yeah, Trump rant. It is so funny to me how much he rants about Trump, but he is like, they have a lot of things in common, I'll be honest. Homophobia, casual homophobia. Somebody spelled for me in the chat. I'm dumb. Phobia. Phobia. All right. I don't. Probably misspelled. That's okay. I'm not a good speller. Yeah. No. Okay. Sexism. There we go. Oh, dude, I got homophobia right. Cool. All right, casual homophobia. They call this kind of blue MAGA. Yeah, he is blue MAGA for sure. Let's see. General complaint. WWE glaze. A reference from 40 years ago. All right. And there we go. Wait. Grid size, automatic. Theme, stars, and stripes. Ooh, what do we got? Corporate. What's corporate look like? It's fun. He's kind of spooky. He could be a spooky Halloween guy. Been flagged for speech. What? The result, my live is being discontinued. Yo, are we still live? This thing got flagged. Why did I get flagged? That's silly. All right. Who cares? Yeah, I got a flag for hate speech. Oh, probably because I said these words, right? Oh, okay. All right. Whatever. All right. Yeah, start over. We could get all these, though. We could get all these. Except pockets. I don't think you said it. But I'm going to save that for later. Let's finish this guy out.
We heard he left WWE, but that was it. We haven't heard anything else.
I assume he's going back to his previous name and personality and attempting to further himself.
You would have thought AEW would have jumped all over someone like that.
Well, no, he can work.
Who's he talking about? I forgot.
Okay, you have a good point. Maybe they wouldn't jump all over that. All right, well, this is the PWI 500.
You know, Brian Last, you're so right. AEW, the place where the work rate guys don't go. You know, all those terrible workers on AEW who can't wrestle. You know, what they're known for. This dude's goof, dude. He's an absolute goof.
Wrestling magazines in 20. Go to Barnes & Noble.
Well, just about where can you find a magazine these days?
Yeah, where can you?
People are so stupid. Nobody's reading anymore.
They're not reading anymore, except on Twitter. And we're reading more words than we probably read in quite a long time. Jim's like, you know why people are stupid? Because they can't find a PWI magazine in the store anymore. That's why they're so dumb. I don't know, Jim. It could be the fact that they're listening to you.
Their lives is get on their telephones and then go to sleep at night, Brian.
What are you doing on those telephones, Jim?
I feel like you got to go to sleep at night. You got to have a good night's sleep. It's part of a healthy routine if you sleep for some period of time once a day. Can you agree with me on this?
Yes.
Fan of sleeping? I'm a big fan of napping.
Is this better be an ad read? This is the dumbest conversation I've ever heard.
Yes. Sometimes it's like a trailer or a teaser for sleep. Well, I'll nap, and then that way later on I can look forward to sleeping.
Is this guy having a nap conversation?
On a Helix sleep.
There you go. Okay, God bless. I'm glad it was an ad read.
Grew on Stephen King and Creepshow. But you don't have to do that anymore because Helix.
Still reading the ad read.
15-year warranty.
Still on the ad read.
My God, you could save more than.
Still on the ad read. Is this an 8-minute ad read for Helix?
Forced with rebar and 2x4s, but it'll hold your ass up.
Okay. Are we still talking?
What are you saying?
The big fat person mattress they got. They got
don't have that. I turned for a second.
Oh my God. Okay, he's finishing up with that. Dude, this is insane. I'm not subscribed. Dude, okay. Has he got anything else that's going on? If you got a quick video, I'm going to hit it real quick. Jim Cornette reviews Adam Page's confrontation with Hangman. Adam Page and Jeff Jarrett. Cornette reviews a tag team casino gauntlet match. Okay. Dude, look at this. Cornette reviews CM Punk's promo. Christian Cage's promo. Oh, in an empty Rupp Arena. Well, Jim, I didn't see you there, buddy. I didn't see you there, Jim. All right, let's see what he says about Hangman's promo.
Anyway,
I think it was good.
Speaking of imitation badassery, Renee Moxley was in the back with Hangnail, Adam Page. And he does some more dramatic acting. And then
he does more dramatic acting, you know, because he's playing a character filled with drama. Yeah. Hey, Jim, her name is Renee Paquette. That's what she goes by. So there you go. We got casual sexism by giving her the last name that she does not use on television, just to be like, Jim wants you to know that Renee is owned by John Moxley. Chris.
Just because obviously it called.
Oh, dude, Andy made fun of the name. That's twofer.
After his interview, he walks off and they just follow him with the
makes fun of name, casual sexism.
Walks past a bunch of random job guys.
Yeah.
And he's giving out the intimidating looks, and then suddenly he comes face to face with Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett, it cuts a promo where he basically psychoanalyzes him and tells him.
Jeff Jarrett's promo was good. I mean, I don't know about you. I think Tony Khan's an absolute sicko for trying to get Jeff Jarrett babyface reactions. The fact that he's doing that is very funny to me. I think I would do that if I had a pro wrestling company too. I was like, let's get the most like kind of crapped on person in pro wrestling babyface reactions. Like a lot of people have negative feelings about Jeff Jarrett, and I would want to change their opinion on that. Not because I like Jeff Jarrett, because I want to circumvent expectations. I think that's a fun thing to do. Also, Jeff Jarrett must be a good person, right? The amount of times in different companies he's been in that like he doesn't have any pull in is kind of crazy. Like he must do something right. People must like him. He must be very personable behind the scenes because he works everywhere. And if he wasn't, it's not like he has enough pull where he could just blacklist people. That's not going to happen. So I just think it's kind of interesting that he is continually on other people's television because I think he must be a nice guy.
What's wrong with him, and that his toughest opponent,
James, you're right. He is very talented.
The man in the mirror, and then Paige punches him and tosses him over some chairs.
Yeah, that's what he did.
And Karen and the jobbers all come in, and Paige walks away. But regardless of whether Paige's acting is bad or this,
I think Hangman's acting's been great.
Or what, it's kind of a moot point. Again, this show, everybody's brain farts, everybody's quality control. I'm surprised there wasn't another fake drywall wall in this. If you watch this segment.
Jim, do you want them to break a real, like we just had this on WWE the other night too, with the Bronson Reed and the Braun Strowman match. They went through not a fake wall. They built a wall that they could go through. Yeah. What do you want? Do you want them to go through real drywall, Jim? Do you want them to go through studded 2x4s in a wall? What are you talking about? And this is one of the things I always find funny in professional wrestling media. If you make fun of one company for doing something, this is why I'm not a tribalist, and this is why my thoughts expand to pro wrestling as a whole. Because when you do just say this company does bad thing and they're bad for doing it, eventually other company will do that thing, the company you like, because that's what pro wrestling is. Pro wrestling is a cycle. Things like this happen. I'm sorry. But if you make fun of, like, for example, you make fun of WWE for botches and say, oh, well, botch at the castle and botchlash. That's a Jim Cornette joke. I'm sorry. Sorry, chat, for making a joke like that. I apologize. I'll do better. And you say, oh, AEW doesn't do that. Yeah, dude, they're going to do that too. Because you know why? People make mistakes. And that's what happens. And a botch is a mistake. It happens. It's not a big deal. As long as no one gets hurt. Having said that, if you are one of these people that is militant about a particular aspect of professional wrestling and you're like, that's why I don't watch this company, is because they do X, Y, and Z, you're going to be found out as a hypocrite. Because your company of choice will eventually do those things. So if you don't realize that now, you might want to take some time and realize it right now. All right. What else you got, Jimmy?
In the back of this, there are like 5 or 6 building employees.
My freaking camera went out.
Concession people or somebody in fucking, maintenance, whatever. They're sitting in a row of seats against the wall. And they're just watching this. And Brian, what happens if you are an employee of an arena backstage, or if you're an employee of any company anywhere, and within 20 or 30 feet of you, two guys suddenly start fucking wailing away at each other at a big fight? You don't necessarily break it up, but don't you stand up and assess whether you need to get further
Not if I'm arena security and they are the talent. I'm sorry, but if the Rolling Stones are backstage, and you'll like this, Jim, because it's an old band, if the Rolling Stones are backstage arguing and getting into a pushing match, I'm not going to go throw a Juji Gatami on Keith Richards. Fair enough. And in kayfabe, Hangman burned down somebody's childhood home, and he just cut a promo on how he's going to eviscerate anyone who stands up for Swerve Strickland. Kayfabe-wise, if I hear somebody who just burned down another man's house say, I will destroy anyone who I even think was being a fan of Swerve Strickland, I'm going to let you get that beat down on Jeff Jarrett, because guess why? I don't want my house burnt down. Please don't burn my house down. I'm sorry, Jim. This is a stupid complaint. A very stupid complaint.
Fuck away?
Yes.
That's what you need to do, Jim.
No, they're sitting there. You see, what guys with their legs crossed? They're sitting there watching this shit. Right? They couldn't say, "Hey, can you please get out of the way of our shot?"
They were there for the purpose, Jim.
If you're in the AEW backstage area, you used to.
Jim, you just mentioned how convoluted the set was, that you had these guys just sitting in chairs. Now you don't think that they were part of it? You don't think they were part of the shot? Jim, I assume, right? So a little bit behind the curtain, when I used to work at OVW, we would do backstage pre-tapes. I assume this was a pre-tape. I'm not sure if it was filmed live, filmed before, whatever. You get to control who's in your scene because, and this is true, you are in control of it because, and this once again is true, it is a television show, Jim. So you would just say, as the person producing the segment, you say, "Hey guys, I know you're all sitting in those chairs. Could you go somewhere else? Appreciate it. Thanks. You can sit in those chairs the next 5 minutes after we film this thing." What are we doing? You understand it. I'm sorry. You're being obtuse. You're being obtuse to make complaints, to pander.
To seeing these kind of skirmishes break out. It's not a big deal.
It's just, what the fuck? They can't even look through the viewfinder of the camera and think, "Oh, if those 6 people are sitting there while this big fight's going on, all these people are..."
Jim doesn't think that they knew those people were there.
They're watching a movie.
That is the most disingenuous conversation I've heard from him today.
Or change our camera angle.
Jim, they knew they were there. What are you talking about? Jim, it's not some guy with an iPhone walking around filming this. It's a television production. Like, Jim, you've been around OVW backstage. You've been in other companies backstage, but I specifically know that you've seen us film pre-tapes before because you've sat in on them and gave notes. Why don't you think that extends to other companies? Why do you think that you're the only person to ever think of, "I control the scene. I can make sure people are not there"? Like, I'm sorry, but that shows like a complete lack of, I don't want to say like mental fitness, right? But I will say I think he knows that, and I think he's trying to play a character because Jim is not like this in real life. Jim is, he is negative on things, but he is not like this negative. He does not nitpick and complain about stuff like this, at least from my personal interaction. Now, he could have changed over the last, 5-10 years. Might be the case, right? But he understands it. He understands professional wrestling. He understands how it works. And I think that this is him trying to, I think he's trying to garner views, which, hey, am I surprised that the guy who has spent years, decades even, being a heel manager trying to get heat might be on the internet still trying to get heat? No, I would not be surprised. Yeah, Gallifrey, he's being disingenuous.
For the Jeff Jarrett, Adam Page thing that they're, for some reason...
Dude, Jeff Jarrett...
This thing, it's been several incidents now.
They're kind of building up.
I don't know what they're doing. And Jeff...
Because you don't watch the show, Jim. That's why you don't know what they're doing.
he did a great promo 1 week, and it got him over as a babyface, and then
Yep.
they've been beating him up ever since. I don't know where that's supposed to fucking go.
You don't know. So I guess we'll explain it to Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette says he doesn't understand where they're going with this Jeff Jarrett thing. They let Jeff Jarrett cut a promo. He got babyface reactions. Now he's getting babyface reactions. Why are they letting Jeff Jarrett get beat up all the time by one of the top stars in AEW? Because I don't play devil's advocate, right? I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to say if you were to have Hangman Adam Page getting one-upped by Jeff Jarrett, you would say, I can't believe they're letting Jeff Jarrett go over this young talent. Jeff Jarrett's 55 years old. That's the story. The story is Jeff Jarrett is the last lone outlaw from the territory days, and he is seeing the new big bad cowboy sheriff. I mean, we'll say bad guy, right? He's not the sheriff anymore. Of Adam Page come in, and Jeff Jarrett is trying to do right and do good things now because he got a babyface reaction. We have established that Jeff Jarrett is now a babyface. Now, why on earth would we want our babyface to keep getting beat by the heel? Could it be to build adversity, Jim? Yes, it could be. Jim, this is not a new concept, buddy. You have what is amounting to a monster heel in Hangman Adam Page versus an elderly Jeff Jarrett. What are you talking about, Jim? You understand these concepts. I'm convinced that Jim is being disingenuous. He has to be, because you get this. You get it. It's not lost on you. What are we doing? I don't know. He's just getting clicks, right? 70,000 people. And the problem is a lot of people watch these things and they think that this is like a smart take. This is a dumb take. I'm sorry. This is not a good take at all. Like, I can't with him anymore. He's just, are you going to say psych at the end? That's the only thing that would make this video worth it. If Jim just goes, psych. No, I understand. I'm just being disingenuous. So you guys watch. Thank you for sponsoring, and go get a Helix mattress. But I doubt he's going to say that.
To be fair, he also co-hosts the pre-show with Renee and RJ.
Renee and RJ.
And Double J.
And Double J. And OJ. All right, anyway.
There you go. O.J. Simpson reference at the end, at the buzzer. O.J. Simpson at the buzzer because Jim wanted to give us a timely reference. You know, O.J. Simpson. Because the year currently is 1993. I think Jim thinks it's 1993. I'm just so... Why is he the voice? Let's go see. You know what? I'm going to continue my punishment. Let's see what JD from New York has to say about things in pro wrestling today. Oh, your preview photo is that's a 3-hour podcast. Oh my God. What do you do? I honestly have not watched anything from this guy. I see clips and they're just tremendously bad. Does he have like any videos? 22 hours ago, Miro request. Mercedes, I don't care. Finally moves to 2 hours. 12 days ago. Does this guy have any good things? Block that guy on Twitter. He's got an interview with Vince Russo. Interview with Vince Russo. James, I'm in a mood with myself. I'm not looking to ruin my mortal soul. Okay, what do we got? What's this? Why is there no audio?
That he put himself in now because he beats.
What is this? Okay, this is streamed 4 days ago. Dude, you know what? Give me this. That's fine. Oh, I don't want it to be full screen. Whatever. We'll just deal with it. I don't know. We're going to click randomly and do it. See what he has to say.
I don't know what I'm telling lies here, but I don't think...
Solo Monster. I've heard that name. I've actually never seen his face. And I'm going to block it. I'm going to Mike Wazowski him.
I mean, AEW, you talk about one of their strengths. Mikey Ruckus is fucking phenomenal at what he does. He just reads the wrestler. He gets who.
I thought JD didn't like AEW. He's got AEW sweatshirt on.
And he translates that so beautifully to his music.
Jim will say anything and crap on anything the Young Bucks. Yeah, he will.
And they did a great job. They had bangers.
Hey guys, if you could throw some likes, let's get that up to 1,000.
whoever they wrote for was just
Appreciate it.
fucking unbelievable. Def Rep, I don't know what happened.
All right, he's talking about music. That's fine. What else we got?
Feud. This is the closest thing that Punk has had to that so far in WWE. So
Dude, this guy's
pretty
all
confident
right.
we'll
This is just like a podcast. Like, give me some of your shorts, I guess. Give me some of your. Where's your crazy takes, buddy? What do you got? Let's look at your popular shorts. This one's got 143,000. Okay, what do you got him?
They're not the alternative anymore. They're not. This is what I said was going to be a problem. Triple H now is doing what Tony Khan was doing better than Tony Khan.
What's that?
Who are you going to side with, Triple H or Tony Khan? WWE wanted to present itself as the alternative. They're not the alternative anymore. They are now basically on par with WWE, trying to do the same thing. With Vince McMahon, it was easy to be the alternative.
I don't think they're doing the same thing at all. Crazy man. What are you talking about? So unserious. Does this guy have anything good? Like, are these all it is? I am talking about 4 weeks ago, a month ago. Does this usually just do streams? Nah, he doesn't seem like a well thought out person, but he also, I've heard some of the stuff he posts, and he's a big mark for Hulk Hogan. Let's see what's going on in the Twitter space before we log off today. See what is going on in the world of pro wrestling. What do we got? Also, I guess we will go over to Reddit. Let's see. Let's see what they got. All right, start with Sean Ross Sapp. Let's react to some news. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate it. We're up to 1,700 now. Thank you so much, y'all. Share it if you have the ability. Let's see. Sean Ross Sapp, the GOAT of pro wrestling media. And I'm sorry if you don't feel that way because you're wrong. The boy's also from Kentucky. I will always simp hard for my home state. Fightful News, Weekend Podcast. Paul London highlights. Oh, he's talking football. I do not care. Whoa, that's a tweet there. That's a good tweet. Is there anything going on news-wise? Oh, they touched tips. He wore protection. RJ City's a national treasure. RJ City is a natural treasure. Reggie's asking if I like the new Fortnite series. I do like the new Fortnite. I like the Marvel one. I like the it's fun, but it's also really tough with sometimes you get people who are fully kitted out and it's just insane. Like you just can't do anything about it. Let's see. Brutal tag combination. Let's see it. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That's a pop from me. Oh, so cool. I cannot wait for somebody, as Jim would say, on one of the main rosters to do it, because it'll be brand new again. That was sick. I'm looking by new, but hey, that was cool. I like that. That's a cool move. Very cool. Guy met Elias. It's good. He's probably reading the Bible on live still. You guys were so close. So close. We could have got, we almost got it. He said, make sure you watch out for those kicks, young Goldberg. Oldberg said to Youngberg, he said, watch out for those kicks, or you'll have to hear it from that smart mouth Canadian for the rest of your life. Mina Shirakawa, that's a thirst trap. I'm not clicking it. I know better than to click the Mina Shirakawa thirst traps. I'm not a bad guy. What do we got? Ahead of their match at Grand Slam, there's a compilation of Nigel McGuinness hating on...
Digger, whatever face me.
He's going to call him a clam digger, that's for sure. We all know that one. Let's see.
Every hair on your head to have a match with Bryan Danielson. You guys are out of your mind. They're not wearing right. Class Digger.
There he is.
Face me. Oh, good Lord. Look at Bryan Danielson desperately pandering to the crowd.
Dude, Nigel McGuinness has been waiting for this moment for years.
Stuff. Bryan Defendant number one, terrible example for his children. Never sticks with anything. But he couldn't give up eating breed. Oh, wait, that could be misconstrued. That's only going to happen.
That could be misconstrued. Nigel, you're a treasure.
His wife said he had a problem with length percentile. All right. But if they it kind of looks like that cartoon about human evolution. And Bryan Danielson's made it abundantly clear he's got Neanderthal DNA anyway.
All right, Nigel, you're funny, dude. I love Nigel. I'm so excited for that match. That match is totally happening, by the way. Totally happening if you're not aware. Woo! Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson. Oh my God. Can I play that in slow motion? No, I'm going to play that in better quality, though. Dude, that is insane. I'm sorry. Remember, Jim Cornette said the bad workers, or Brian Last said the bad workers are over here. Dude, I am... Damn, dude, maybe I need to get Honor Club. Maybe I need to get Honor Club. That's insane. What do we got? Jeff Cobb, Inishi. Let's see that. I love the big man doing the lucha stuff. I love it. I love it. AW Collision Wrestlers. Oh no. I love them.
Last week, MXM Collection said we would give Max Caster.
I'm sorry. This is like one of the top wrestling examples of turning like making lemonade out of lemons for sure. These two guys have taken what was like a very middling of the road Vince McMahon, like, oh, we need to have flamboyant characters, you know, because reasons. They're funny. Like that kind of stuff. And they took it and they made this into something amazing. So proud of these guys.
Jacket, an extreme makeover. And that is exactly what we did. I bet you want to see what's inside, don't you?
I do.
I bet you want to see me zip this all the way down.
Do it.
I bet you
Do
wanna
it.
See us whip it out right in front of you.
Yeah.
Watch my tip. MXM Collection's magnum opus can't come so soon. That would be premature. Exactly 1 week from tonight.
So dumb.
Grand Slam Collision, Arthur Ashe Stadium. MXM Collection present the Grand Slam finale to New York Fashion Week.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Look at this. Look at this.
You'll be the star.
Look at this. I got a restricted for some audience. Some find this uncomfortable. Oh my God. Oh my God. So sensitive. So silly. It makes him too hot for TikTok. You heard it here first. Come on, guys. They're just talking about touching tips and pulling it out. The jacket, that is. This jacket. They could not mean anything else. You need to get your minds out of the gutter. Out of the gutter. Disgusting.
Rule number 10. The winner receives an autographed copy of Soraya's autobiography, available for pre-order now.
Oh, I was going to say, she has a book?
Thank you so much. Yeah, and it seems pretty straightforward. So,
Yeah.
Jamie, baby girl, make sure you learn those rules, okay? Are you ready to go? Yes. Oh.
I didn't see the beginning of this pre-tape. Oh, wait, is that the beginning and she's ate it? Oh my God. Look at Renee. Yeah, that was all of it. Dude, look at Renee. Look, she can't even. She's dying. She's dying. She's go. Look, she's trying to hold that smile here too.
Make sure you learn those rules, okay? Are you ready?
Look. That's so funny. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. What else we got? Unhinged.
The truth of the matter is, there are only 2 people in the world today who know that what I'm saying is true.
What is that, Nigel? What is it?
Me and you. And that is exactly why you have refused to answer my challenge.
I gave you a different British person, James.
If you show up at Arthur Ashe Stadium, I will beat you. I will destroy you. And I will finally have vindication.
Here's the thing I really like about this Nigel promo, right? So, Nigel is, there's no reason, right, that in kayfabe, Nigel should beat a fully healthy American Dragon. I like that they're using this injury angle for him, basically to say, like, we'll make it a little bit more believable, right? You shouldn't beat him at all. You haven't wrestled in a long time. Having said that, I think that it's also going to tell the story that Danielson is going to come back. Maybe not at 100%. He's been cleared. Should he spend some more time off? For sure. But Nigel is not going to back down from a challenge. Danielson is not going to back down from a challenge because that is who he is. So, this makes sense. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be bad faith and say, why is he competing with Danielson in this match? Why does he look competitive? Danielson looks weak because he's injured, because they tried to unalive him with a plastic bag. So, having said that, I think that AEW is doing a really good job in telling the story. Now, I will say, the night that they announced this, we were all a little confused in the arena because Moxley came out and goes, Moxley said Danielson's not going to make it. And then Nigel said, well, I'll wrestle him. But at the time, I didn't hear him say in the arena, like, if he can make it. So, whatever. I'm not the biggest. It was kind of clunky, I'll be honest, to get here. But I'm excited for it now. Let's see. There's a baby. Zilla Fatu seems about time for him to go to WWE, which, not surprised. Good for him. Gallifrey is asking in the chat, do you think Nigel is the new leader of BCC? I had not thought about it. I'll be honest with you. I don't see the purpose. I think Moxley and his group are doing something a little bit different, though. A war is coming.
There's a war coming. Didn't you see what happened at Private Party? John Moxley thinks they're jokes. He thinks you're jokes. He thinks I'm a joke, and I'm not just going to lay down and die. You can lay down and die. Play your little video games, film your dumb little skits, not me.
He thinks that we're nerds. You mean the guys who have the internet show and are streaming video game playing all the time, and you with the face paint that you have to put on before you go outside? He thinks you all are the weirdos? No, stop. Please, don't. Couldn't be the case. He thinks you're super normal.
We're going to have a fight tonight, and I'm going to show the people the difference between you and me. I'm not laying down and dying.
No.
I'm going to lead AEW into the future as the next world champion.
Damn, Moxley's getting to Darby here.
What you're capable of. Remind me that you still have that dog in you. Because I don't see you anymore. All I see is someone collecting a paycheck and coasting.
Damn, dude. Darby's turning into Mox, dude. I don't know if you all are catching this yet, but Darby is turning into Moxley. He's saying the exact same things, but they're going about it in two separate ways. Moxley is like, I'm going to break your hand because you're not doing good, and I'm going to give you some, like, conflicting ideas in your mind. I'm going to give you some, like, some static. Give you some, like, now you feel like you have to fight me. Like, we're going to motivate you through, like, fear. And Darby is like, you got to show me what you can do, brother. Which is funny that the goth kid is basically like, you just gotta believe in yourself.
You have been on cruise control for too long. Remind me what you can do.
See? They're the same guy. They're the same guy.
Fight me tonight. This isn't a joke anymore.
See? I gotta loosen up my tie. I'm gonna kick your butt. Kick your ass, bro. That's good. Good segment. Dude, that's a good one. I like that one. I enjoyed that. He almost... Oh, blew a kiss to Nigel. Nigel. Oh, what? I don't know if we should click this video chat, but we're going to. Oh, dude, exploding barbed wire. Oh, dude, we can't probably watch all that, but we'll watch that on another day. Fightful WWE sources claim the Fightful Select the Lucha Bros are not signed contracts as of yet. As of yet, right? That's still happening. I mean, we can Have a good time, guys. Y'all deserve it. WWE is going to make a mint selling those masks. I know a lot of people, some people seem to care about, hey, look, that's a green top. Some people seem to care about money in wrestling. So there you go. They're going to sell a bunch of masks. Lucha Bros are WWE bound? Maybe not, brother. No, they are. They are. What are you talking about, chat? What are you talking about? Interesting post-so message by Mariah May.
Yuka? Bully me. Please. I'm begging you. Bully me.
Bully me. Bully me. Jeez. All right. That was a little. Calm down. Spray her with. Take her out back. Spray her with the hose. Somebody spray her with a cold. Get her in a cold shower. She's acting weird. Cora Jade and CM Punk. No, they were enemies. She said something mean to him. No, wait, that wasn't Cora Jade. That's the other one. Never mind. I don't watch NXT. I just saw the clip. You're very tall. I know you're very tall. Taz says to Don Callis, Don, I know you're a very tall man and you're very proud of that. I'm happy for you, but you must realize you're extremely ugly. That's why Taz is the GOAT. Let's see. Reggie in the chat's asking who the Lucha Brothers feud with first. I don't know. It's either LWO or Legado del Fantasma. I did the joke. Give me a likes. I did the joke. No. Here's the thing. I don't think that WWE's tag team division is super good. I think that okay, so like there's not a bunch. Typically, I would say start off with some lower level tag teams, work your way up. Now, having said that, I don't think that there's anybody who they should feud with right off the bat. I think if I was bringing them in, I would bring in other luchador talent, people who can work that style, and put them in matches that are like, hey, this is the Lucha Brothers. We are introducing them with job matches that we are going to show what they can do. I would do that because I would want to see what my audience reacts to. Look, I understand. WWE has a very good understanding of what people like, what people don't like. But the Lucha Brothers, I feel like, bring a whole nother aspect to the game. They're very good at what they do. They're a very good luchador tag team. Now, having said that, I would bring them in, I would have them wrestle, and we would see what people react to. Do people react to their big spots? Do they react to their, Penta taking the glove off? What do you like? We're going to test that stuff out first. Secondly, after that, we're going to decide where we're going to put them. Are they getting over? Do people like them? Do people like watching them? Great. All right, strap them with the tag team titles. Give them the tag team titles. I don't care. Whichever set you want to go with. I think DIY has a set. I think, God, that's kind of the state of the WWE tag titles. I think it's DIY and I think it's Judgment Day. Or Street Trash or whatever. Let's see. Somebody in the chat can also let me know if they know who are the tag champs here. Let's see what we got. All right. Current champions, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest. Okay, cool. Oh, show me the other ones too. World Tag. Where's WWE's title holders? There should just be a page, right? All right, here we go. All right. So let's see. That's the one the Judgment Day has. They have the Round Boys. And then it's it's the Bloodline. Gross. Well, you're not going to give... Oh, they're going to Raw then because they're not going to get the Bloodline titles. That's not happening at all. So I guess they're going to go wrestle on freaking Judgment Day's thing. Oh my gosh. They're going to put them with Damian Priest? Are they going to put them with Damian Priest? I hope not. Anyways, that's what I think. And then they're going to eventually take the titles off of the Judgment Day Street Trash goon platoon, essentially. All right, let's see what we got. Every match announced for Dynamite Grand Slam and Collision at Arthur Ashe. Sure, let's see it. John Moxley Darby. Yep, it's going to be a good one. I don't know what's going to happen there, especially with that promo from last night. I don't know if Darby is turning. I don't know if the whole idea is like, because they're showing that these two guys are very, very similar, that Darby and Mox are going about the same mission in different ways. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'd actually love to see a heel Darby in this sense. I think it would work. Danielson McGuinness, that's going to be a slapper. Mariah May and Yuka Sakazaki, still a great match. Mariah May is winning that one. Danielson's winning that one. Bucks versus Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. That match is going to be good. I think the Bucks win. But do we have interference? Why do the Bucks win? I'm not sure. And then I'm not sure where this Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay story goes out of this, because Don Callis did have the favor that he requested. He asked for that favor. He got that favor. So my question beyond that is that story is probably not over with, because I think Will Ospreay wants to free his best friend, Kyle Fletcher, from Don Callis' faction. Pat Claudio Wheeler, that's fun. I like can they coexist on the same team? I mean, Wheeler Yuta is Danielson's son, so he's probably very conflicted. I like that they're using that as a character beat, and I'll tell you why. I think it's a very good lesson to be instilled that, like, hey, it shows the fighting spirit of Wheeler Yuta. Yes, I do not like these guys, but you know what I like even less than these guys is losing. That's because of the stuff the BCC has instilled in me. I like that idea. I think that's really cool. I think it's adding some depth and character to Wheeler Yuta. I know a lot of people think Wheeler Yuta is boring, but I think that this is definitely helping him. Yeah, who's going to be the trios? Because it was going to be Private Party and... I mean, it's not going to be them anymore, right? They blew up Homie's hand with the hammer. Let's see. Meltzer tweet in regards to TNA rehiring Vince Russo 2006. Imagine the equivalent of someone replacing Einstein as a physicist for Longhorn Leghorn. I think we book Hogan for the title. AW's pay. Okay, here we go. AW Andrew Zarian. AW's pay-per-view will be on Max starting January 25th or January 2025. Warner Brothers Discovery could do it sooner, but they're planning on January. They won't likely have exclusivity on the pay-per-views, as they will be available other places with traditional methods. So what does that mean? I hope that means we can get them for free on HBO Max, or maybe just pay $10. I'll pay $10 for a pay-per-view. I can save money. I do not care. So I hope that that's the case. Now it seems like in other markets you'll be able to watch in other places, which is good. So like if you don't have Max, I don't know if Max is everywhere in the world, right? We have certain things in America and Europe and stuff that they don't in other countries. So you still be able to watch it in other places if you so choose, which I like, which is good. The accessibility of wrestling is important to me. I think wrestling should be accessible. I don't think paying $50 for every single pay-per-view is very accessible. So that's my feeling there. Let's see what else we got going on. Jeremy Borash, and a hand on writing Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes segments at the Georgia Tech. Good. Jeremy Borash is really good. Jeremy Borash is very good at what he does, and I'm glad that he's getting his just deserve. Spine meets chair. What do we got here? Bunkhouse Brawl. Oh! Jesus, get him. Nice. I didn't watch all of Collision last night. I went to go watch soccer. I got outside. Oh, yeah. Our soccer team won last night. Our women's soccer team won last night, and they had like maybe 1,000 people in the building that holds like 15,000 people. I guess we're going out of business. It's a bummer. What time is it? No, it's getting ready to get out. All right, folks. I think I'm going to end the stream now. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours, right? So that's a good amount of today. So we're going to call it. Thank you all so much for everything you all done. Appreciate all the shares and all the likes and all the gifts. I appreciate it, every single one of you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend. Next week, though, for those who are still here, I'm taking off many days next week, and we'll be doing all-day live streams about pro wrestling. Now, you might ask yourself, Michael, why are you doing this? Well, because I have the days off, and I'm going to spend the time trying to make this a career. I want to do this full time. So, having said that, I'm going to put in a bunch of hours this week to help accomplish that and get our message and our words out and about to everyone. So, if you see me going live next week, probably starting Thursday, and you're like, wow, Michael's on. He's been online for a long time. Send it to everybody who likes wrestling. And like, I know there's a lot of like live streamers who do like political content and stuff like that, but we don't really have anybody doing this for wrestling. And I think it's about time we do, because I want to make the type of stuff that I want to watch, because I think that there's other people who would want to watch that stuff too. So I appreciate you all so much. And yes, I see Gallifrey in the chat. I'll have to set this up to where we can do like guest stuff too. So yeah, there's the ability to like co-stream and things like that. So we'll figure out that's a good idea. So we can have people come in and we can have some wrestle debates too. All right, y'all. So I appreciate you. Thank you all for coming in today and checking out the stream. We'll leave you with this as I leave you with it every time. Remember, pro wrestling is predetermined, but your life isn't. Go do something great today. We'll see you next time.